Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Jackal Racing here at Las Vegas. I'm your host, Super Soldier 103. You can refer to me as Super. And we have a packed field tonight of 12 cars. Well, actually, I take that back. 11 cars. We are missing one. But as a little bit of a recap, last week at Daytona 250, we saw Good Square beat out the pack and win the race. Good Square sitting in this field as well. Going to start 4th. We'll see what he can do tonight. Coming off a great win, though. Alright, let's see the roster for tonight. Trainwreck sitting 1st. Remy sitting 2nd. Creams sitting 3rd. Good Square in 4th, as we mentioned earlier. Anvar sitting 5th. And in 6th, I'm not too sure. NR, whoever that is. In 7th, No Numbers or Gabe. In 8th, BNC Swag or 8K Isaiah. Kind of a coincidence there, 8K, starting 8th. In 9th, BNC General or Chris Paul. In 10th, Sleacher. In 11th, XY. Okay, as I said earlier, 11 cars. Yeah, I take that back. Daytona was 12 cars, but these shorter tracks like this, we can fit more cars on there as it will not lag. But Daytona's such a big track, we couldn't do that. So I believe we have a 15 car field. So anyways, back to the standings, or roster. Sleacher in 10th, I believe. 11th, Sleacher starting 11th. Ultra, 12th, X-Wide, 13, and we are green for the start of the race. 150 laps, and this is lap 1, and someone will go around the 72 of 2K Blue. We'll stay green though. A couple cars go low. They'll hop back up on the track, try and keep it clean. A couple onto the wall, a couple spinning around too. A little bit of smoke. Up into the wall again, Sleacher and X-Wide. And BNC General gonna drift up on No Numbers. A lot of stuff happened in these first few laps of the race. And 8K gonna almost go around. Sleacher and 8K both get into the wall. And X-Wide getting pushed down by Sleacher. Nice move there. And Smart Coder is going to be last place. I believe he got a very late start. Not sure why, but definitely not a great start for him. Very bad start. So, within the first 5 laps of this race, we've seen some very close calls, and overall, everyone's just kind of held it together. It's a lot harder when you have 15 cars, you know, rather than 12. Your leader at the moment is going to be Remy, and Trainwreck definitely gained some momentum and catching up to Remy though. And Creams is going to go around. Not sure what happened there, but he's going to lose quite a few positions off of it. Everybody going to go low and try to avoid him here. So as these cars file out and go single file, they'll also they'll break up into small little packs. As you can see here, you've got 2K blue, no numbers, wide receiver, 8K, and creams. And then up with good square, you've got, well, if I could find good square. There he is. Oh, and that pack that we were just talking about had a little stint there of spins. They're gonna go around. That'll bring out the caution. And Remy will take first, Trainwreck coming second, and Joel Musa coming third. Those top three, they've been looking pretty strong so far. Can't say they're gonna win it. Anyone could win this at this point. I mean, only 8 laps and can't really be picking anyone quite yet, you know? So, a little update. Last week at Daytona, we had 2 commentators, myself and AES, or Ace. But Ace is, he's having some medical issues. So let's you know, pray for him. It's just a headache. But I mean, a headache can be anything, you know? Have a sinus infection, turns into bronchitis. You know, COVID has headaches involved. But, you know, just pray for him and hope that he pulls through. Now, with pits, most people are coming out at this point. Still a few people in there, like V. Colby. Most of the field, actually, the entire field pit, besides Joel, X Wide, I believe, and Stampy. I was probably wrong about that. So let me go and check. Yeah, so Joel was the only person to stay out. Alright, in row 1, Joel Musa and Stampy. Row 2, X Wide and Commander Remy. Row 3, Good Square and No Numbers. Row 4, Chris Bald Paul and 2K. Row 5, Sleesher and Austin. Row 6, Smart Coder and Creams. Row 7, Trainwreck and Anvar. And all alone in the back, AK Isaiah. And green flag is in the air for this restart. A few cars kind of below the black, and a couple cars in the back stacking up on each other. 4 wide there for a second, and they'll single it out though, single file. A couple cars on the outside. Outside lane is pretty strong here. As you can see there, no numbers making a good gain off of the outside lane, getting past Sleesher. 4 wide with Sleesher, no numbers, and Stampy, Chris Bald, Paul. They'll hold on to it. Bunch of cars going under the black there. And wide came down on Remy, our previous race leader. I almost spun him out. These cars are pretty easy to save, but if you get them around, they aren't coming back. Like right here, Sleesher almost went around, but he had a car bump into him, save him. Some more pile-ups going on. Well, almost. Just a lot of drama. Not too much, really. Way too early in the race to be causing this much carnage. And Austin going around and flipping. A huge wreck right there. BNC Swag and Creams all involved. Good Square as well. Well, Good Square made it out of that. Start spinning. Coming through the corner. It's very easy to lose control of these cars, as you can see right there. It is way too early in the race to be causing flips. You know what, let's get a flip counter going. Number 1 of the day. We are 2 cautions in and 1 flip. Actually, that'll be 2 flips. The 19 of... Who is in the 19? Let's see. Creams. 19 of Creams also went up and over. So that'll be 2 flips. So Smart Coder, Creams, Trainwreck, Sleesher, and Stampy all come into the pits. That'll be a violation of the pit line for Creams. He'll get a TTB, or to the back. Unfortunate for him, but you really gotta stay inside those lines, or else you'll cause problems in the pit road. Joe Muse is still deciding to stay out. He never, or he hasn't pit on either of these cautions. So like we were talking about at Daytona last week, if you're in the back, you might as well pit. And that was very true for those guys there. Because, I mean, you've got nothing to lose, right? Might as well pit, get some tires, some better tires, and some more fuel. Can last a little bit longer. But Joel appears to be trying to conserve somewhat, but also stay up in front of the pack. As seen here, starting first for this restart. Yeah, I think X-Wide stayed out both times as well, because he is sitting on 1,000 fuel, and so is Joel. The only two to stay out for both of these cautions. But coming to the green flag here, Joel going to start us off. Good start here from everybody, not too much drama. And as I say that, Remy popping up a little bit. And Joel gonna turn X wide. He's gonna hold on to it though, but we're 4 wide behind him, and Trainwreck drifting a little bit, Good Square drifting a little bit. Good Square gonna drop way back off of that. And Chris also slamming into Remy. A little bit more drama going on. 2K around. Were we 5? I think we were 5 wide there for a moment. Way too much drama going on for this early. Or for... Dang. Way too much drama going on this early in the race. And even more drama going on back in the back of the pack with Smart Coder and Creams. Well, most of the track and drivers have gone single file, but that can change very quickly. You know, everybody trying to make some moves, gain some positions, but that's what causes wrecks. As you can see here, Trainwreck and 8K getting together, almost causing another wreck. Someone in the chat said X-Wide coming down is starting to become a habit. Yeah, you're not wrong. See what happens going in this turn. Well, that time it happened to him, and he's going to go around. Smart Coder was in the wall there. I'm not sure why. And Anvar going to go around as well, coming to the flag. Not too sure what happened there. Hey, everyone, give it up for Taker432 in the chat right now. Previous championship winner who retired last season. That'll be a speeding penalty going into the pits. Not sure who that was. But a lot of people are going to come down to the pits. Trainwreck, Remy, Anvar, Joel, Good Square, Gabe, 8K, 2K, Chris Bald, Paul, Austin, and XY all in the pits. Sleesher, Creams, and Stampy all going to stay out. And I believe that is our pit cycle. 8K or 2K getting out last, and Good Square getting out second to last. Fortunate for Good Square. Started great, starting in fourth, but between all of the problems going on with everyone getting together and nearly wrecking, he dropped back quite a bit. And I believe we have a sub coming on to the track. Well, no. Not sure who it is. Oh, just a troll. Anyway, Sleesher to start this restart. A command car. Actually, not sure if it's command car, if it's when you get to the line, you just go. I think it's when you get to the line, you just go. See if we can get through one lap without any drama. Remy already going way below the line. Gonna do the smart thing and not come up here. Got it, but he's gonna lose pretty much everything. All of his positions. Creams into the inside wall. And I take back what I said about Remy. Did cause a little bit of drama there. So, Sleesher going to be leading the race. Joel Muse is sitting behind him. And Trainwreck is sitting in third. And Joel gonna get up under Sleesher and turn him all the way around. He's gonna go spinning and hit 8K. He'll go spinning as well. Anvar involved. Commander Remy involved. Cream's involved. That'll be caution number 4. And that little callback to the Las Vegas race a couple seasons ago. I like that. That is something I was going to bring up as well. Brantuan, I'm not sure if he won a championship in the past, but he was a strong Las Vegas contender a few seasons ago, and he had a great strategy working for him, but it just never worked out. Back then they were also running 12 cars and different setups and different gen cars. Well, while we go through these pit stops, I want to ask Taker a question. Maybe for the fans, or maybe just for myself, but would you ever come back to Jackal? Like, even if you were just asked, or if it was you, would you ever come back? Or maybe just one season? Well, while he thinks about his answer, let's look at the top 3 right now. Joel Musa first, nothing new there. Stampy second, and either X wide or no numbers. No numbers is definitely in third. X wide in fourth. Chris Paul in fifth. Good square in sixth. Smart Coder is driving, not commentating. Looking at chat there. Joel Musta to start us off. Great start there. Gonna jump out in front of most people. 3 wide already in the second row and the third row. And Kanye gonna go around and a huge pile up. But they'll get out of it. Wow, that is insane. They were all stacked up there. Colby gonna drop way back. Everybody's drifting a little bit, you know. When you got worse tires, and Sleesh are gonna go around and off the wall and into Trainwreck, and 8K Isaiah and Austin. Just a huge pile up right there. This will be race back. Joel Musa will take second, and no numbers will take first, and XY taking third. So, with all that drama going down, I never got to read chat, but Taker responded to my question. He said, perhaps I thought about it for this season, but with my leagues I ran on iRacing and my busy schedule, I couldn't for the season. But for future seasons, he said, I will definitely return for sure. So that's something to look forward to in the future seasons, everyone. X wide, Anvar gonna stay out. Anyone else? Cream's gonna stay out. Looks like 8K Isaiah's gonna stay out as well. Everyone else will bring it into pits, get some new tires and some fuel. And some problems in pit road between Stampy Sleesher and 2K Blue. Remy gonna get out first. No numbers, gonna get out second. Joel out third. Chris out fourth, Stampy out fifth, Trainwreck out sixth, Good Square out seventh, Austin out eighth, and Colby out ninth, Sleesher out 10th. And 2K out last. So your top 5 are going to be wide receiver, Anvar, Creams, 8K Isaiah, and Commander Remy. I'd like to point out something Taker said. We have a lot of new faces in D1 this season, and a lot of familiar faces, such as people like Good Square or Stampy. I believe Stampy raced D2 last season. And let's see who else. Can't name a lot. Sleesher maybe, 2K Blue. But anyways, green flag in the air, wide receiver. And Anvar gonna battle it out for first. Anvar with a great run because of that push from 8K Isaiah. Are we going to get around this turn without any problems? A little bit of smoke at a 2K Blue, but that'll be it. Some great racing going on in front of the pack right now. between Anvar, wide receiver, 8K, and no numbers. Griswold Paul also looking to get inside of 8K and get up in to the top 3. Finally, a clean green flag run. Probably not for long though, as Colby goes around, and I called it. Looks like he blew an engine, and he's got smoke coming out of his engine. So yeah, he definitely blew an engine. Stampy was involved in that as well as 2K Blue. Everybody gonna go high here, but way too high, and 8K Isaiah gonna come off the wall and hit wide receiver, hit a bunch of other people, Trainwreck, Creams, and Sleesher all involved. Unfortunate for those guys. And this track is so small that when you bounce off the wall and there is a group of cars coming your way, almost all of them are going to be involved. So I believe that's caution number 6. Still 2 flips. And I don't believe we're even a quarter of the way through the race yet. So, I'm going to answer this question, the Goodwrench Cup Series. Nice name, by the way. He asked if he would be able to run in D2 as a part-time driver. No, I am sorry to tell you that. But, if you do join the Discord server, we always have middle of the season tryouts. If you do those tryouts, then you can possibly get a D2 or D1 license. And the middle of the season, still have a while to go though. As this is just the second race of the season. Apologize for that, everyone. Had some technical issues. But we're back and we are green with no numbers leading the race. And Chris Paul outside of him. 4 wide, 5 wide. Wow, 5 wide. But they'll hold on to it. And single out for the most part. 3 cars getting together in the very back of the field. Stampy, Commander Remy, and Joel. But other than that, not too much going on. Coming into turn 3. Everyone mostly okay, except for Creams and Anvar, which go up into the wall after clipping each other. Well, not each other, but Creams clipped Anvar and sent them both into the wall. AK Isaiah and Austin both clipped the wall there. Someone we haven't seen too much of in the front of the pack, Good Square. Now coming up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. Had to kind of count there as everyone's spread out. Got a 4 car breakaway from the pack. And there's gonna be some drama right here as a few cars go around, but they hold on to it. Good square involved, and he's gonna drop back. That is unfortunate. We were just talking about him too and how he had caught up with the pack. Joel now getting into the wall. Watch Joel run this outside lane here and get right in front of Stampy. Stampy was in front of him coming into that corner. But man, Joel has a very strong line. He'll catch up to this pack of 8K Commander and Austin pretty easily. And draft also plays a big role. And Anvar going to park it. He said he's lagging too much. Unfortunate day for him. There's one down for Joel. And some drama in the back with Stampy getting up into the wall. And spinning as well. And there goes Joel passing all 3 of those cars that were just behind him. Or I mean in front of him. Commander almost wrecking 8K and himself. Let's go to the front of the pack now with Chris Bald Paul. Behind him, Trainwreck and X-Wide. No numbers and Sleesher. Good race going on up here. As Trainwreck tries to catch Chris Bald Paul. With a great run coming out of the corner. He could get it on this next corner. Gonna try and send it in there. Run his line. But to no avail. Not too much going on up there, which is good, you know. Past few laps, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of almost wrecks. You know, we've seen a lot of chaos these past 50 so laps, but I think they're finally getting to understand the physics of the cars on this track, because these are completely new cars, you know, Gen 6, I believe. And they race entirely different. If you were to race Gen 5 and then go to Gen 6, you would see the difference. They're a lot looser and they're a lot harder to handle. So I don't blame them for having a lot of wrecks in the first few laps of the race. First 50. Anyways, let's look at Joel, who has already made his way up to 6th. I believe he started in the back of the pack the last restart a few laps ago. About 10, I believe. But he's already found his way up to the front of the pack, and he's going to try and catch a wide receiver here, who was 3rd, but he dropped back to 5th behind Sleesher. And right behind Joel Musa is 8K Isaiah, Austin, and Commander Remy. They're going to try and slipstream Joel so they can catch up with his front pack as well. We might see that in a few laps. Someone pointing out in chat, we are 1/3 of the way done with the race. And we haven't seen a caution in more than 10 laps. So, expect the worst. That's all I can say. And we have lap traffic with V. Colby. Gonna have to watch out for him. There's two types of people. There's people who get lapped and let themselves get lapped, or there's people who try and block the lead car, and then they get turned for it. So we'll see what happens when Chris Bald finally catches V. Colby here in a few laps. Back at the middle of the pack, Joel Musin X wide fighting it out, and Colby gonna let him by, just to add on to what I was saying. But he's gonna keep fighting. So anyways, X wide and Joel Musa, or Joel Musa gonna draft X wide and try and catch up to him. But if we look at their tires and the fuel here, X wide has 800 fuel, and Joel has 800 as well. Now I'm kind of confused because the tires are saying 120 and 119. So I can't tell you too much about that, but I do believe that XY is running on worse tires than Joel Musa. So that's why Joel Musa is catching him much easier. And Joel Musa around, and he's gonna hit 8K Isaiah. Unfortunate. He was running great as well. I clicked out for a moment to check chat, and when I clicked back in, Joel Musa was around. That will not bring out the caution, as he is still driving forward and he's still in the middle of the pack. So he's fine. And it wasn't a 3-car pileup. I believe 3-car pileups bring out the caution. But V. Colby still fighting to get his lap back from Chris Bald, Paul. But if we look at Chris Bald, Paul's fuel, he's got 500. And his tires are 120% for whatever reason. And Colby has 670 fuel. And his tires are also 120% for some reason. Might be a glitch for me, or it might be throughout the entire server. Not entirely sure. And another lap car coming up here, Stampy. Gonna let them go around, and Colby hitting the wall and affecting no numbers. And he's gonna hit no numbers again. Not very good driving from V. Colby. And Trainwreck spinning Stampy. Didn't quite spin him, but he tried to. And Stampy now going to spin, trying to get by Trainwreck. There goes his hopes of getting his lap back. Sleacher gonna get around Stampy without much trouble. Now let's look at the battle for the lead here. Chris Bald, Paul, and Trainwreck. I believe Trainwreck has finally gotten close to Chris Bald, Paul to try and make a move. Or he's getting there, rather. Still about 4 car lengths in between them. Though Trainwreck does have that draft from Chris Bald, Paul. You can also use wall draft on this track, I believe. So that's why you see everybody up near the wall coming out of turns 2 and turn 4. Chris Bald, Paul lost a little bit of time there. 0.3 of a second to be specific, because they were 0.6 of a second between each other. But now Trainwreck only a car length away from Chris Bald Paul, and he'll catch him on this straight and try and set him up in the corner. Gonna try the outside lane. Not gonna be able to get much, so he'll stay behind him. Inside lane wide open for Trainwreck, and he's gonna take it. He will take the lead here for this lap. Alright, enough of the front pack. Let's go look at V. Colby. Got in front of no numbers. Sitting third, but not really third. A lap down. And Chris Bald Paul got turned by a Trainwreck and went into the inside wall, now to the outside. He's going to lose a lot of time off of that. That was a very dirty move. As we were saying about V. Colby, he's going to try and catch up to Trainwreck and Chris Bald Paul. It's going to be a lot easier now because Chris Bald Paul is a lot closer. He'll get his draft. So fortunate for him, but not very fortunate for Chris. Looking back at that footage of Chris Bald Paul and Trainwreck, it was Trainwreck's fault. He hit the wall, and coming off the wall, smacked into Chris Bald Paul, and that sent him into the inside barrier. Colby gonna let no numbers by. Smart move there. Saw him on his outside. Didn't want to cause a wreck. Sleacher gonna try and get by V. Colby. Now we're gonna have another lap car coming up here in a few laps, and no numbers is coming into the pits here. Almost caused a wreck with Colby. It was very close. But as I was saying, Creams is going to be the next lap car if Trainwreck can get to him. Everybody has about 200 to 500 fuel at this point. Take that back, 200 to 400 fuel. The most is about 360. So we'll see a lot of green flag pits right about now. Trainwreck with 140 fuel. Chris Bald Paul with 100 fuel. Sleacher with 250 fuel. V. Colby with 200 fuel. XY with 230 fuel. So you kind of get the point. Most people sitting on 200 fuel, but the leaders, since they've been racing so hard, are on a little bit less. And it looks like Chris Bald Paul is going to be the first of the top 5 to pit. Looks like 8K Isaiah is coming down as well. Or, actually, never mind, he just got into the grass. No numbers almost hitting the passing cars of Joel Music, Commander Remy, and 8K. 8K Isaiah has 70 fuel, so we'll probably see him pit right here. Cream's also pitting, Trainwreck pitting. And here comes 8K Isaiah, as we just mentioned, as well as Austin. And good score. And Stanley. Chris Bald Paul will get out first, of course, as he was the first to come in. This will about wrap up our green flag pit stop. Still got a few more cars to come in. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 more cars that still need to come in. Not sure what AK Isaiah is doing. He's got a 400 fuel, but he might be coming to the pits. Yeah, definitely coming to the pits. That'll be a speeding penalty. And X wide, almost going around, coming out of turn 2. Sleesher now coming into pits. He's got 80 fuel. You never want to be the last person to pit, because you'll likely be sitting last after. Commander Remy, now your new leader. Oh, and X wide came in as well. But X wide had 60 fuel, so that makes a little more sense. And Sleesher's going to have to do a drive-through. That'll be even worse for him. He was outside of his pit box. Our previous leaders, Trainwreck sitting 4th, and Chris Paul sitting 9th. But let's look at Commander Remy, because now he's pitting, as well as V. Colby. I believe these are our last people to pit, other than Sleesher doing his drive-through. Colby going to lose even more laps off of this, and Stampy down 2 laps. With the entire field spread out at this point, this is when strategy starts to play a role. You gotta conserve, and Colby almost going around. So anyways, you gotta conserve and make sure you hold onto your fuel and not wear your tires too much, because at this point you could be looking at hitting however many more times between a caution, or if they go green from here to the end of the race, you could be looking at pitting from once to maybe even 3 times if you can serve correctly, maybe just once. So since I don't have a partner, I'm gonna ask chat who their picks are to win the race. So Trainwreck now leading the race, and Commander Remy somehow sitting 2nd after he pit. That's amazing. It's amazing to me. But he's 7 seconds behind Trainwreck. X wide 9 seconds. Joe Muse at 10 seconds, and Austin 11 seconds. I believe Austin is at the highest point or position that he's been at the entire race. I think 5th is the highest he's been. So congrats to him. And he's one of the new faces as well. He wasn't here last season. We've got a couple of train wrecks. 3 people saying Trainwreck's gonna win. Somebody saying 48, some people saying Chris. You know, I could see any of those winning. I can't make a pick yet. Trainwreck still leading the race by 7 seconds from Commander Remy. wide receiver, sitting, I believe it was 10 seconds behind him, maybe 9, something like that. We'll see right here, 10 seconds, almost 11. And Cream's almost spinning out there, almost went to the inside wall. Apparently there's a bit of time, and Remy's probably going to lap him right here. Put him 2 laps down. Oh wait, Remy is not the leader, I apologize. He was just put 2 laps down by Trainwreck. Trainwreck going to try and get by Stampy, who is going to be 3 laps down at this point. Unfortunate for him, very, very unfortunate. Oh, so 2 laps. I guess he had been fighting Trainwreck all this time. But he is going to get passed by Kaiser, which is another car who was lapped down. He's going to be chasing down Trainwreck to try and get his lap back, as well as Stampy. Maybe if they work together, they can both get their lap back, but I doubt we're going to see that happen. Well, they're both Camaros, so it's very possible. But other than that, I don't even think they're teammates. Colby, which is in front of Train, almost spun out. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that. People doing a little bit of drifting. If you overcorrect, it can be very bad, as you will spin yourself, slam to the wall, and possibly wreck someone else. Trainwreck gonna hit the wall, and Commander will gain some time off of that. Well, maybe not as much time as I thought. It's only like 0.2 of a second. Closing in on the 100 lap mark, and 2/3 of the race. We still see Trainwreck leading, Commander Remy in 3rd, and Joel Musa, which has been strong all day, in 3rd. Colby gonna let Trainwreck by, do the nice thing, as he is already a lap down. And I believe will be his 2nd lap down. Indeed, it is his 2nd lap down. Fortunate for him. Caution is out, and that is going to change everything up. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Stampy. Pack was way too spread out. Couldn't tell what was going on. It was the 20 car, and Remy and Stampy all involved. Oh, that's a flip as well. I was just watching the playback. There's flip number 3. Caution. I don't even know anymore. I've lost count. Well, we'll see the leader come in. Trainwreck, no numbers. Commander Remy, Joel Musa, X wide. Austin Good Square, Chris Bald Paul, and Sleesher. Everyone trying to get a clean pit stop, but not everyone will. Someone got out of his car. X-Wide will get out first.
Hello.
What?
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Kind of annoyed at this caution, but pretty good. What's up?
You know, just want to ask a few questions.
Hit me.
People watching. So, first question. People are kind of annoyed with you that, in the first, I don't know, 30, 40 laps of the race, you kind of had a reputation for coming down on people and causing some wrecks. What do you have to say about that?
It's the beginning of the race. I kind of didn't know my car. It's obviously not good to come down on people, and I'm sorry for that, but I got my car figured out now, and I'm doing pretty fine.
Oh, that is great to hear. Second question. You know, I haven't planned this far, but I'm gonna think someone up on the spot. So you're sitting, what, a lap down?
No, I'm actually leading the race right now.
Oh, okay, you were a lap down though, weren't you?
No, I was never a lap down.
Oh, dang, my fault. So, you came out of the pits first, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you take, tires or fuel?
Both. I also took one can of fuel, though.
Okay. There you
I'm
have it.
planning on a probable caution here to see if I can get back and undercut them or overcut them.
Okay, last question. How do you think that caution is going to change up the race?
Well, either people are going to try and save like mad, or we're going to have another pit stop if this entire thing goes green. I think people are going to be trying to save and lose a bunch of positions, and then a caution's going to come out late in the race and ruin it.
It could happen. Anyways, we'll be coming up with a green flag. So X-Wide, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Green flag. X-Wide leading the race for the first time. You know, I really thought he was a lap down. We had a lot of cars lap down, about 6, I believe. Middle of the pack. A little bit of drama going on. Joel Muse and Austin getting together. Three wide with no numbers, Creams and Good Square. And Creams getting hooked a couple of times, bumping into 8K, but they'll hold on to it. And Stampy almost going around. Bunch of cars in the wall, no numbers. Colby, Stampy around now as well. That's just how restarts are. That is what happens. Bunch of cars. Oh, and that's a flip train wreck. I was gonna say a bunch of cars in the infield. Train wreck is gonna flip. All you people saying train wreck is gonna win, that that is not good for you guys. You bet money. I would feel very sorry for you. That is flip number 4 of the day. Let's see how many cars we have pit right here. Looks like X-Wide's gonna come down. And he's gonna fake it, as well as Chris Bald, Paul, Commander Remy, Austin, 8K Isaiah, Joel Musa, Trainwreck, No Numbers, Creams, V Colby, and Stampy all coming to the pits. And 2K is gonna get a wave by. He is 96 laps down. And Trainwreck might get a violation here. He might just barely be inside his pit box. Couldn't tell. but he will get out first as he was the first pit. He had pole, so he had the first pit box. I also have some problems going on with myself. I have a sore throat, so I apologize for the stuttering. Plus, when you are commentating by yourself, you are talking a lot more, so it is not helping my throat. So your top 5 are going to be X wide, and first Chris in second, Sleesher in third, Good Square in fourth, and Remy in fifth. And to round that out, Trainwreck in sixth. Good Square, we haven't seen too much of him in the front today, but he's back in his starting position as we come to the green. Good push from Trainwreck to Good Square. Now Good Square stuck on the outside. That could be bad. And he's lost almost all positions that he gained. And Commander Remy going to go around. He's going to try and hold on to it though. And he will. But he'll hit Stampy in the process. Unfortunate for those guys. Very, very unfortunate. A few more cars going around. V. Colby into the wall and Good Square around as well. And Good Square around again. Stampy packing him. That'll bring out the caution. And that is race back. Good Square crossing the line last. And there will be a red flag on the backstretch. Not sure why. Probably gotta fix a few things. Maybe a server shutdown. It's a little bit laggy. So before we shut down, let's look at our positions and standings. So in first is X wide. He's been sitting there for a while, pretty strong. And second is Sleesher. Haven't seen too much of him in the top 5 or even top 3. And he is second. AK Isaiah in third, no numbers in fourth, Trainwreck in fifth. Joel Musa in 6th, Chris Paul in 7th, Austin in 8th, Creams in 9th, Colby in 10th, in 11th, 2K Blue, who is 4 laps down, in 12th, Stampy, in 13th, Commander Remy, and in dead last, our winner of the Daytona 250, Good Square. We'll go to break here, but we will come back after the server reset. So don't go anywhere. I have. Alright. Tell me when we come in. Nope, I'm ready. Give me countdown. Alright, got it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Jackal Racing Network at Las Vegas. After the server reset, we've got all the cars lined up and ready to go, and we'll be underway shortly. X Wide sitting first, as we went over it before the server reset. And Sleesher outside of me. So something I'd like to talk about is Good Square. Very unfortunate for him, as he was involved in the last wreck and sent to the very back of the pack. Good Square is definitely a strong driver, but as I've said before, not on stream, but I've said this, and this applies to anything, like football or any sport. If you're playing with bad people, they're gonna bring you down. There aren't some there's good racers here. There's also some very bad racers here, and Good Square has just been involved in one too many wrecks caused by not so good drivers. XY gonna get pushed outside by No Numbers. No Numbers will take the lead. And Austin getting sent to the inside wall. He's going to pop back up on the track and narrowly avoid everyone. Sleesher's tires just spun out and he slammed Trainwreck up into the wall. Now, No Numbers has Joel behind him. Joel Musa has finally caught back up with the leaders. Gonna get under wide receiver and try and take second position from him. Also, Chrisbald Paul behind the top three. And No Numbers gonna spin out. He'll hold on to it though, lose some time, still spinning. And there he goes, around and up into the wall. Chrisbald Paul getting 2 positions off of that. A couple more cars spinning out in the back. V. Colby, I believe. The caution was called, and it was Austin. Austin on the front stretch. who had gone around. Well, Austin gonna go get his lap back. And 2K, I believe, is gonna get a wave by as well. These top 7 cars are looking very strong. Specifically X-Wide, Chris, Joel Musa, No Numbers, Remy, and Trainwreck. Haven't seen too much from 8K or Sleesher, but don't count them out. Still great drivers. And most people coming to the pits. A couple of violations I see. 8K got bumped out of his pit box by V. Colby. And he's going to repay the favor by bumping Colby. And it's, oh, 4 wide to the, or out of the pits. I believe 8K got in front of them. That was interesting. I don't believe that we got it on the camera though. That's sad because it was very interesting to watch. And we'll come to 1 to go and they'll go 2 wide. X-Wide's still your leader and Sleesher sitting outside of X-Wide. Commander Remy sitting behind them. And Good Square finally now up back at his old position in 4th. Don't count Good Square out, we still got around 40 laps to go. Good Square is a great driver, won many championships in the past, won many races in the past. I believe he's also won at Las Vegas, but never on these Gen 6 cars. I was just informed that Sleesher has the fastest lap, so he could be a contender. Definitely could. And XY with a great start, great push from Remy. Gonna put him way up in 1st. Good Square gonna drop back behind Joel Musa. A bunch of bumping and bang going on in the back with Stampy and Colby. But these top 5 are looking very strong. Or top 6 rather. Top 7 actually. These top 7 cars are who I would pick to win. Well, it was wide receiver Remy, Joel Musa, Good Square, Trainwreck, Sleesher, and No Numbers. But Colby's gonna go around. No Numbers gonna go around. They'll hold on to it though. Top 7 was Trainwreck, Good Square, Joel Musa, wide receiver, and Commander Remy, Chris Bald Paul. That might have been 8, but those guys are very strong. Great drivers. And it's late in the race now, so I think I will make my pick. And I'm going to say wide receiver. I got to go with him. He's looking very strong. If we look at him right now, he was in the middle of Joel Musa and Commander Remy, so he had to drop back. But I'm looking at his position, and he's got great position to win this race. He's only sitting 3rd, and he can get that P1 back very easily. Anyone can. Trainwreck could or Good Square, but I'm really thinking that this PlayStation car with wide receiver in it can get that win. Trainwreck now under wide receiver. But wide receiver's got the draft, so a little stronger with the draft. got more speed. Few cars in the back getting together, Creams and Stampy. Now Stampy getting together with Austin. Fighting is not going to help the situation. And no numbers, or I thought it was no numbers this entire time, but it was actually numbers. I'm gonna say no numbers anyways, so no numbers in the back of the pack. Unfortunately, by himself. He's got Creams, and now wide receiver. Oh, wide receiver dropped way back. Not good. I can't believe I made that prediction, and then that happened. Got some sort of curse or something. But your new leader is Commander Remy. Someone said in chat that Wide came down on someone. That's probably why he dropped back like he did. Commander Remy's still leading. Joel Muse sent behind him with a 0.4 second gap and Trainwreck to round out the top 3. But don't forget Good Square back there sitting behind Trainwreck. Still a good contender. As well as AK Isaiah. And not too far behind AK Isaiah, you got Chris Bald Paul and V Colby. And spin going on in the back with Creams and Austin. That is all they've been doing. They've just been fighting each other for the past 10 laps. It's like XY is trying to merge. He might be a lap down. That could be his chances of winning gone. Actually, I believe he pit. I think he did that on purpose. And Joel Musa gonna go around Trainwreck hooking him. They're gonna hold on to it. And XY gonna merge up into Good Square. Remy's gonna have to check up because of it. He tipped Remy there, and now he's gonna go around, smack into the wall, lose even more time. Almost hit Chris there as well. He's gonna block up no numbers. I might have to switch my pick. I think everyone in the chat should do that too, no offense, but there have been 11 or 12 cautions. One of those two. Ah, X1 lagged out. Thank you for that. Now Trainwreck leading by 0.7 of a second. Let's see if it's still 0.7, 0.8 now. Looks like he is creating a bigger gap between him and Joel Musa. Good Square now inside the top 3. I think that's the first time he's been inside the top 3 this entire race. Pack is, or the field rather, is thinning out. Got a bunch of cars in the back by themselves, like Colby, Sleesher, Stampy, 2K Blue, and Austin. Other than those cars, there's a small little pack of 6 cars. Sorry, 7 cars. Which is Trainwreck, Joel Musa, Remy, Good Square, 8K, and Remy flipping over into the wall. Or not Remy, Joel Musa. There is caution number 13. this will be your race back with Trainwreck. And X-Wide gonna go around because he came up on Chris Bald Paul. Flip number 6, caution number 13. Joel Muse is still up on that wall. Now with just 30 more laps to go, we have seen another caution. See who brings it down to the pits. See who's willing to take that risk, get some better tires, some more fuel. Looks like everyone. I think XY is going to stay out though. And so is No Numbers. No Numbers was ahead of X-Wide when they were coming to the pits. So he will be in P1. And X-Wide will be P2. Everyone else went into the pits. Little to no violations. Chris Bald Paul gonna get out first. Good Square gonna get out second. 8K third. Remy fourth. Train fifth. So I believe they will go 2 wide here. 1 to go. Gabe and No Numbers in the first row. Chris Bald Paul and Good Square in the second. 8K and Commander Remy in the third. And Trainwreck and Sleesher not sitting too far behind him. Stampy up here as well. That is a new one. He hasn't been in the top 10 very often, I don't think. Coming to the green flag. No Numbers in X wide. And green flag is in the air. Sleesher a little low there, below like the black line, below everyone. Stampy went high. Commander Remy around, he'll bounce off a Stampy, pop him into the wall. And Austin might have been involved in that too, but I think Austin might have just been last. Unfortunate for Remy, as he was one of the top cars to probably win the race. But No Numbers now leading, and Good Square sitting second. And he'll get passed by Chris Bald Paul here probably. And a little bit of an incident going on. X-Wide gonna go around and bounce right into Joel Musa, who went flipping through the pit lane. And a few more cars involved. That was a huge wreck. I believe a bit of that was Chris Bald Paul's fault. Some of it was wide receiver. It's a team effort. So, No Numbers still leading. 8K Isaiah in second, which is the highest position he has had all day. And Good Square in third. Behind them, Sleesher in fourth and Trainwreck in fifth. 8K gonna try and fake. Looks like no one in the front of the pack is gonna go in, or the middle. Mostly just people in the back, like wide receiver Creamed and Joel. 2K will probably bring it down too. Or not. He'll stay out. Try and gain a few positions. That is flip number 7. Caution number 14. Now we have about 15 laps to go. Nerves are going to start setting in. People are going to start getting a little jittery, and more wrecks will probably be caused. Could see a GWC if that does happen. Well, to pass the time before they get to the green flag, let's read some college football scores. Temple Owls and Akron Zips, 24-17. Temple Owls. And here comes the green flag, coming around turn 4. They get to read some push from Sleesher. And Sleesher gonna go around because of E. Colby, and he's up and over, and that'll bring out the caution. And more cars involved, as well as wide receiver, who's gonna go around. No numbers at the line first, Trainwreck second, and 8K third. Wrecking at the line is Austin. Only took about 1 lap, then they started wrecking. XY going to be the only person to come down into the pits. Well, there is one, but I can't tell who it is. Actually, I believe that's Colby. Yep, Colby was in the pits. Actually, he might have disconnected and just came back. I think that's what happened. So, back to college football scores to pass the time. Toledo Rockets and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in quarter 4, 22-24. Notre Dame, 2 minutes left. Virginia Tech Hokies and the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, 14-35 Virginia. 14 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Alright, well, that's enough of football scores. You know, I'm your manual little bar at the bottom of the screen when you're watching ESPN or a football or a NASCAR race, and they got the little bar at the bottom, just kind of reading you scores of games. But anyways, no numbers. Leading the race, Trainwreck in second, 8K in third, Commander Remy in fourth. Good Square in 5th, and Austin in 6th. That could mean trouble because Austin is one of those new racers. A little less experience than some of these guys up here. Chris Paul gonna pass under the black line. Stampy almost going around. We are 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Joel Musa 4 wide, and Colby involved. Good Square involved. 2K involved. Bunch of cars involved. That entire pack was pretty much involved, but only a few cars went around. Guess that will not bring out the caution. We have 8 laps to go, coming up on 7. Trainwreck now leading. No numbers is looking pretty strong. And Austin gonna go around, try and save it though, and he'll hold on to it. Remy bounced off the wall coming out of the corner and spun himself. Austin gonna go low to avoid it, and he did. But he will bump up and hit the wall. Almost tap wide receiver, but stay off him. We see how I said Austin isn't as experienced. That was a very experienced move. He dived low to avoid, I believe, what was it, Remy? Who was spinning out of control? Very good move. So yeah, that will not bring out the caution. That incident. Oh, but this might Stampy spinning through the front stretch. No, he'll hold on to it. Wide receiver with a very bad line, and almost killed a few people there. Sleacher gonna spin out into the inside wall, and 2K as well. That'll bring out the caution though. That was race back. I apologize if you heard static just then. I just choked on air, so I had to disconnect my mic. Taker is saying that Austin raced with him the last season, and he wrecked him during the championship. That can still make him inexperienced. It's not the track that is slippery, Fusion Core. It's the cars. The cars are very slick. And the worse your tires are, the more slick you're going to be. So Good Square, Stampy, and Sleacher, I believe, all pit. Everyone else stayed out. I might be mistaken. But those guys will be in the back of the field. Your top 5 are Trainwreck, no numbers, AK Isaiah, Austin, and wide receiver. I'd had to pick someone to win right here, with 2 to go. Coming to the line, it's going to be no numbers. Let me know what you guys think on who's going to win. I mean, wide receiver is up there, but we've seen him cause a lot of wrecks in the past, this entire race, and I just don't think he can hold on to it long enough to get up in first. Here we come around turn 4 for the last 2 laps of the race. Green flag is now in the air, and Trainwreck gonna drop back a little bit. A few cars around, Good Square included. He's gonna bump up. He's gonna slide up and hit 2K. That will not bring out the caution. We are still green. Trainwreck leading, no numbers in second. Joel Musa in third. Trainwreck used that outside lane very well and got out in front of no numbers. Wide receiver turned Chris Paul. Oh, and he almost flipped and Commander Remy into the infield. It is the last lap of the race. White flag is in the air. Trainwreck leading. I'm not sure if the caution was called or not, but we will see. Trainwreck still leading into the turn. No numbers up under him. He won't be able to get by him though. Austin gonna wreck Joel Muse, and he went spinning like a rocket. Trainwreck will come to the white flag and win the race with no numbers behind him. And Chris Paul getting third. What a finish. If that was the finish. I'm still not entirely sure. I believe that was the finish. So Trainwreck will win the race. No numbers will get second. Chris Paul will get third. That was a crazy finish, ladies and gentlemen. Well, all those who said XY is going to win, sorry, but I think he finished towards the back of the pack. Those who said Trainwreck is going to win, props to you. You ran a great race the entire time, had a great line, and ultimately came out victorious. And here he is with his spin out. Commander Remy going to run into him, help him out a little bit there. Well, we'll try to get a little driver interview here for the top three. Fortunately, Good Square was not able to come away with a win. I don't believe he even finished in the top 10. So very unfortunate for him. As we wait on Train to join the VC so we can interview him, let's talk about standings. Official standings, I'm not too sure about. Trainwreck came first. It was no number second. Chris Paul third. I'm not sure after that. Let's get a little recap on what happened on that last lap. So you saw Joel Muse and Austin. Oh, here we are. Train, congratulations on the win.
Thanks. You hear me?
Yeah.
Congratulations on the win. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Race was great,
Hmm.
except some odd moments.
Very, very true. You want to break down how you went from the back of the pack because you had flipped at around what lap? 120, 130, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I flipped, but that was after the race back. I didn't actually lose any position.
Oh, okay. But from what I remember, you might have been involved. I think you were involved in a caution. You had gone to the back of the pack and made your way up to the front.
Yeah, honestly, I was being really aggressive, taking it 3 wide a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just able to get some lucky strikes and make my way back up to the front.
Very nice. Um, so we saw you in the front of the race or the front of the pack most of the time. How was the racing up there compared to the back of the pack?
It was honestly pretty fun, especially when I was battling with other people. But it was pretty clean.
Right. Because as we saw in the back of the pack, a lot of drivers like Austin or Stampy were constantly spinning out and unable to hold their line.
Yeah.
So coming to the last laps of the race, what were you thinking? What was going through your head as you were leading the race?
I was just trying to hold my position because I knew that second was really close behind me. And honestly, I messed up the third turn, so I was lucky enough to get a good exit though to keep the lead.
Right. Um. Well, congrats on the win again. Anything else you'd like to say or even ask
Uh, yeah,
or
no.
thank anyone?
Well, thank you. Thank Chris for actually making the scheme, even though at the last second, or else I wouldn't have been able to race.
All right. Well, thank you again, and congrats on the win.
All right.
How you
Hi.
doing?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
So, that was a very great race between you and Trainwreck. Would you agree?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, but that final pit cycle, I actually didn't pit, so I was aiming for track position because if I were in the back, I would have been dead by now. But
Yeah, very
yeah,
correct.
it was like a hellhole back there. It was not fun. So I didn't pit. I was hoping that there would be enough cautions for me to, probably have the tires even out, probably even have the fuel go all the
Yeah,
way. I wasn't entirely sure if my fuel can go all the way. If it stayed green, so I was just praying, and it worked. I got a good position out of it because I did get a penalty like mid race.
yeah.
It paid off.
So, at the beginning of the race, you weren't seen in the front of the pack very much. How did you transition from being in the back of the pack to being in the front of the pack for the rest of the race?
I mean, well, usually I just gain experience from the back because it's a very different driving experience in the back because there's a lot of dirty air, there's a lot of other guys racing you too. So it kind of gives me a little bit more skill, like trying to maneuver around people, and it kind of helped me get up to the front. But also pit
Right,
cycles and pit strategies did too.
of course. So, what was going through your head the last few laps of the race?
I knew if I didn't like hold off Trainwreck, he was gonna pull away because I had old tires. But if I held him off, it would be almost impossible because he has fresh tires. So
Right.
I was just aiming probably for like a top 3 podium maybe. You know, P2 is like better than anything else that I could have expected today. Because I was clearly not the fastest car.
That's true. I mean, you were up there quite a bit. I mean, you led a few laps. You did lead a good amount of laps.
Yeah.
Anyways, anyone you'd like to thank or anything you'd like to say?
Not really. It was a happy. I'm actually kind of pleased about this race. I didn't have any
You
problems
say
with
that again?
anybody, or like
You
I didn't have
cut out.
nobody had problems with me. So, oh, sorry, I'm lagging right now. Okay, I don't really have any problems with like anybody for this race, and I don't think anybody has problems with me. So I don't really have anything to say because
All right.
anybody
Well,
hates me.
congrats on the second place finish, and
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you too.
Going to try and get Joel and Austin. Where are you, Chris? Hold on. All right, we're gonna get Chris. Hey, Chris. How you doing? Chris? Can't hear. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try and get Joel then. All right, to the outro then. So, to recap, saw a lot of wrecks at the beginning of the race, and a lot of good racing also from those front runners like Commander Remy, Chris Bald Paul, and wide receiver. A lot of good racing, a lot of bad racing, but that's what you get when you throw 14 cars onto a track, a small track like this specifically. Not too much room to run, and not too much clean air to give, as No Numbers was saying. But either way, it was still a great race. Had 15, maybe 16 cautions, and around 7 flips. And a lot of those flips were caused by those back runners like Austin, Creams,